Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's week 3 in the NFL. We're doing our regular call with SBR contributor Doug Upstone, value plays and top dogs and false favorites. And Doug Upstone, am I correct? Did you sweep your 6 picks on our shows last week?
Peter, you were absolutely correct on that one, and you were right as you said. Hey, last week you said, hey, Doug had a sort of a week one, but came back. Have a good track record, made it happen, got all 6 picks, and even at SBR, or I should say Sportsbook Review, and the articles I wrote, nailed a 4-team teaser and had all 6 plays right for Monday night. So, hey, it was all good.
All right, well, we have seen this from you before, Doug Upstone, and a lot of people are kind of thrown by your jolly, jovial demeanor and think this guy can't be a serious handicapper picking winners, but he absolutely can. He's done it over the years with us. He did it last week. Doug Upstone, value picks for NFL Week 3. What's your first pick for us this week?
My first pick, Peter, is with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens, they knew they had a tough situation starting the year at Denver and at Oakland. So they had hoped, I think, to probably go 1-1, but their defense didn't do the job last week, so they're 0-2. Now they are in a very, very desperate situation, coming home against a 2-0 Cincinnati team, knowing that if they lose that game, their chances of winning the division are basically over before they even get to October. So I think Baltimore is going to come into this game ready to play. I think the more desperate team, because as we know in the NFL, a lot of times desperate teams or the team that wants it more is the team that ends up victorious. And I think this is going to be the case with the Ravens this week.
Yeah, this is a very highly debated game, Doug Upstone. The guy I previewed this game with this week for SBR Videos, a guy who I definitely respect, really likes Cincinnati, but another professional gambler that I know who I talked to tells me he really likes Baltimore this week. Me personally, I like the over. No one's given any opinion on the total in this game, so all over the map, and that's to be expected, of course, because Andy Dalton is in the picture. If he plays like a superstar, of course, Cincinnati will roll. If he flops, as we've seen before, Baltimore will get the cover. I personally am leaning towards the over. Very controversial game. Interesting that you like Baltimore here. What's your second value pick for us, Doug Upstone?
My second value pick is with Pittsburgh. I'm bringing him back once again here, Peter. I was ecstatic to see that the line on the Steelers went from -2.5 to -1, going to St. Louis. Now, what I can only presume is that some people like the idea that St. Louis is coming off a flat performance, and they're 8-6 as home underdogs under Jeff Fisher, and quite possibly their front four can create some pressure on Ben Roethlisberger. But when I look further at this game, I think there's a lot of value taking them down to -1 because you have a hungry Le'Veon Bell back in the picture as the running back to go along with what's proven to be a very good back in veteran D'Angelo Williams. Plus, Big Ben, Peter, is only averaging 349 yards a game passing. So that tells me the only way St. Louis stays in this game is with a pass rush, where they have to get to Big Ben because their secondary is suspect, and I think that they can be had. And with the other thing about the Cardinals, they have to score with Pittsburgh, and they're only averaging 205 yards per game passing. I think Pittsburgh's the value play, and they win by at least 7 here, Peter.
Well, Pittsburgh was obviously a very sharp play last week, and a guy I previewed this game with this week, Al McMorty from BigAl.com. He had Pittsburgh last week, and he likes Pittsburgh once again this week. If you're liking Pittsburgh once again this week as a small favorite with Le'Veon Bell back, maybe I'll tail it. That might be a very sharp play right now, under 3. All right, what's your third value play for NFL Week 3, Doug?
It is on Arizona, Peter. Now, living here in the desert, one of the things that I found out here is that Cardinals fans do not like San Francisco. That is their main rivalry here, and that goes to the players as well. I think it probably has something to do with their perception of San Francisco's success and the smugness of which they're fans, and sometimes players and coaches also have. But Jim Tomsula, well, Peter's a little bit faceless in terms of the whole coaching community. And in this case, also the difference is that Arizona is the favorite in this situation. So I think that's a big plus. Now, San Francisco was in a really tough scheduling spot last week, so I think that really hurt them going to Pittsburgh. But their secondary was also very suspect, and with Arizona being a vertical passing team with Carson Palmer at the controls, I think that the Cardinals are going to go to 15-4 against the spread as home favorites and take care of the 49ers, and is a great value play.
Well, this is an interesting handicapping situation. The question obviously is how much will San Francisco bounce back? But in general, I'm very pro Bruce Arians, and you don't have to sell me too hard on betting him in any given week. Doug Upstone coming off of a 6-0 sweep in our videos last week. 3 interesting plays for NFL Week 3. We'll see how you do this week. Thanks so much, Doug.